Michael here. We're going to draw this 3D hole in a piece of paper, and we're going to begin with an oval. Now outside that we're going to draw a larger oval. Don't worry about this being exact. It's going to help us make the jaggedy edges of our hole, and then draw another oval. Again, don't worry about it being exact. Now we're going to draw some radiating lines out from the center. This is going to help us with our perspective. Good. Now that we have that done, go ahead and start connecting up from the corners here to different ovals, some jaggedy edges. The idea here is to have fun with it, create more little jags where you like them. You don't need to copy mine exactly, but if you want to, you can go ahead and try. Alright, and there you have a jaggedy hole. Now overall it looks pretty good, except I'm not real happy with that jag, so I'm going to go in and change that. Come in here and erase out part of it. And now we'll just erase all of these support lines. We will be erasing some of the lines we made for the edges. They'll get lighter, but we'll still be able to see them, so we can go back in and retrace over them. I'm using a kneaded eraser, which is a soft, pliable eraser. It does a really good job picking up the pencil. You can pick up a kneaded eraser at the art supply store or your hobby and craft stores. Okay, there we have that initial design cleaned up, just about. Now I'm going to come back in with my ebony pencil and go back over these lines to strengthen them again. And we'll work this all the way around. Try to make these edges nice and crisp. But again, don't worry about them being perfectly straight, because this is a hole and some of these edges could be a little rough. Okay, now we're going to draw straight down, but put a little regularity in while we're going straight down to show a little roughness and keep us from having to worry about perfect lines. And everywhere you see a corner pointing out, you want to pull a line down from it. Something like that. Now let's think about the light coming in. I'm going to have it coming in from the upper right, and that's going to cause the edge of this hole to cast a shadow. And I'm going to pencil that in right about here, and that's also going to hit in there. Let's go ahead and shade that in lightly just to show us what's going on here. So what that is a shadow cast by the edge of the hole on the side of that little wall there. Now we're going to start darkening in the corners. Not a lot of light gets in there, so that will help them to recede. And it's going to be a process of just going around and trying to make edges stand out by darkening the parts behind edges and then making it darker even into the corners. When you're using a pencil, and this is a soft ebony pencil, it's a jet black ultra smooth, and it gets quite dark. You'll find that if you're using a number 2 pencil, it won't get to be black. While this doesn't get to be black either, what you want to determine is what is the darkest that your pencil will get, and reserve that for those darkest places. And then work lighter away from that. So here we're just shading away from that edge, which I've made that corner about as dark as this pencil will make it. Trying to rub it in a little darker. But yeah, you can only get as black as your pencil will do. Here, darkening that again. And you can see how that's developing. We'll come in here and we'll darken this crack. And gently lighten as we go out, using pencil pressure here to adjust the darkness. Again, as I'm moving away from that corner, I'm lightening up the pressure on the pencil, which is giving me a lighter line. And just cleaning up those edges. I'm rubbing the pencil across, doing a little cross hatching there. Trying to find angles that help me to get in there and color those little areas or shade those little areas. I'm getting a little bit of pencil smudging on the paper, so I'm going to clean that up and probably come here with a piece of paper to lay under my hand so I don't smear back and forth. So just put that little shield under my hand there as I rub back and forth. That'll keep me from smearing the graphite that's on the side of my hand all over the paper. And you just have to keep working these corners, and it's good not to start as dark as possible. You can always go in and make it darker until you hit that maximum that your pencil will do. Yeah, I forgot that little line right there, so we'll go ahead and pencil that in. And now I got to think about which side would be getting sun and which wouldn't. This side would be in the shade, so I'll go ahead and make that whole side dark. It's facing away from the sun, and that side's sort of flat. It's going to get some light, but not a lot of light. And the one in between those two is going to get more light. So I'm going to come here and make this one darker because it's more away from the sun. And you just got to go through and keep making these adjustments. Now clean up that little edge there. Now a little more of the shadow created by the edge. Just going to take a best guess as to where this would hit. And again, just working on that shadow there. Now I will admit that some of those shadows in there, they're a best guess. They're not entirely realistic, but since I don't have an actual cavernous hole in my paper, it's hard for me to see exactly what would happen. It would be a fairly complex angles going from one plane to another. Alright, now we're getting close to wrapping this up by working on this side. And again, refining those edges and doing a little cross hatching in order to make that pencil darker. So continue to go around to make adjustments, darken certain areas till you feel like things push and pull and pop. Alright, now I think it'd be cool if we add some little cracks coming off the corners here, or the points. Just little jaggedy lines, sometimes two of them. All the way around, so something is cracked and crushed through this, created a cavern. Go ahead and sign your name if you're done. I thank you for watching this video lesson. Please go ahead and leave comments, tell your friends, subscribe to our channel, and have fun drawing. Thanks for watching. Looking for other 3D lessons? Try the 3D box, the 3D house, or the 3D star. And be sure and subscribe.